Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Word on the Street Is with Michael and Gabby, where we mention it all about your favorite Bravo celebrities and the shows that they star in.
Everyone, welcome. This week is just Gabby and I. It's also a pretty slow Bravo news week. Nothing's really been happening, which I personally am kind of enjoying the quietness after some of the chaos. Gabby doesn't feel the same way.
I don't feel the same way. You're right, Michael. I live for the Bravo beehive when it's buzzing and full of tea, and this week we haven't had that.
Although the OC contracts apparently went out this week, so we should be hearing some tea on that after it's almost been like a year since last season premiered.
I want Heather Dubrow back so badly.
I would, if Kelly comes back, then I want like Heather and Tamara to be back just so that they can end Kelly. But I don't think Kelly should be back.
Do
She
you
probably
think
will be.
do you think Gina's coming back?
Yeah, I think Gina and Shannon will probably be back, and potentially Kelly.
What about
I
Emma?
don't think like Emily or Elizabeth will be back, and probably not Bronwyn.
Oh, speaking of Emily, this shows how boring of the news week it was. The only thing I saw on my feed about Emily is that she got a facelift recently. I was like, why did she need a facelift? She looked fine.
I didn't even see that. That's how irrelevant she is. And before we get into the episodes, Gabby just wanted to give a couple quick random updates.
Yes, so I am currently binging Married to Medicine. I just finished season 2. I just started season 3 today. I'm really, really enjoying it. My favorite cast member is Quad, hands down. Her dogs are really cute. She's hilarious. And I also love that the show takes place in Atlanta. I love the Atlanta crossovers. Like Dwight has shown up like quite a few times during season 2. And Cynthia Bailey from Atlanta also showed up one time during season 2. She was doing like a modeling casting event with Lisa Nicole. So that was a component that I didn't know was going to be a part of Married to Medicine that I really, really like.
I'm halfway through season 1. I just watched like the big fight at the pool. And I also really like Quad so far. It's only been like 4 episodes, but she's already my favorite as well. So
So those are my thoughts on Married to Medicine. And then I'm also currently catching up on Real Housewives of Potomac. So Michael and I will be covering season 6 when it premieres next month. So excited. But I am almost done with season 5. I'm in the middle of the Portugal trip. And I think this season is so good. It's probably my favorite season so far of Potomac.
yeah, it's a really good season. I thought some of the Candace and Monique stuff dragged on a little bit. Like I wish they would have just been able to like just sit down one on one or just in a small group instead of having all the girls like chime in on in their ears. But it was a really good season, so I'm not going to complain.
Well, after all the fake Denise drama that we didn't get any resolution to dragging on, at least this is legit drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so I wanted to share that about Potomac and that I'm also Team Candace because I just can't see Monique's side for showing that kind of violence. And then coming back for more when she claims to have come to from blacking out when she like beat the hell out of Candace.
Yeah, I was more team Candace as well. I mean, I think Candace is similar to Kenya in the way that she really instigates things, but I didn't feel like Monique took enough accountability at the end of the day. So,
No, and so then she's countersuing her is also where I'm at.
oh yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, it's a
Um,
crazy season.
so I'm looking forward to continuing it, and I am also very much looking forward to covering it with you, Michael.
Yeah, only about like 3 more weeks or 4 more weeks. So,
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And on that note, should we move on to Shaw's?
yeah, let's get into some shots. So, This episode started after kind of a cliffhanger when Mike was giving his announcement and he finally owned up to the text and like kind of cheating on Paulina, and then he was calling out one of his castmates for basically being fake, and that whole tea was that um, Gigi was using a spoof app to prank text him as some random girl because she apparently knew that Paulina had access to the iCloud, so she was trying to get him in trouble. And apparently, all of this came from Reza, who's a shit stirrer. So,
Yeah, he is. Do you think that Gigi was the one sending these prank text messages to Mike?
I mean, I could see her doing it for fun. I mean, that's something I would do for fun, so I don't even like blame her. But also Reza like make shit up. But then when Mike brought it up, Reza obviously he claimed that he never said that, and then he left the trip, which was pretty pathetic in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
that
did you
and
think?
yeah, he left like in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., please.
What did you think? Do you think it had any truth to it?
Yeah, it has to have some truth to it. Otherwise, why would Reza flee like that? Unless
So
he's
you
just,
think Gigi was texting that way? Or
oh,
it was
no, I don't. I mean, she's denying it, and I think she's telling the truth.
but you think Reza is lying and he actually said something to Mike.
Yes,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
who?
I don't trust anything that Reza says,
Yeah,
but at the same time, I could
who
see
knows?
Gigi fucking with Mike because I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I could see her doing that too, but I could also see her owning up to it if she got
Yeah,
confronted about it. That's why I don't think it's Gigi.
she usually owns her shit.
Yeah,
So,
like she looked genuinely surprised when Mike confronted her about it.
and I could also see like Paulina maybe having like one of her friends, like Paulina maybe putting someone up to it to see
Yeah,
if he was being faithful. However, if he knew that she had access to it, I feel like he wouldn't take the bait.
yeah, that's a
But
good
he's
point.
also dumb, so I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like a filler episode. Tommy and MJ are like a funny couple.
Yeah, I like them together. But yeah, I also thought it was pretty filler. There really wasn't much else besides kind of the ending to the Palm Springs trip.
Yeah,
Let's move to Croatia and get into Below Deck. We learned that this is the second to last episode of the season, which seems pretty crazy, but we started with a little meltdown with Allie.
oh my God, that was bad. And seeing her and Sydney go at it over this, it's like, girls, the prize is Gary. This is not worth fighting over.
Exactly. Like, he's just not worth it at all. But at the same time, I feel like Allie and Gary actually had more of a connection than Sydney. Sydney's just desperate and she'll just do whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why I just really hate her. But like, I feel like it shouldn't be Sydney versus Allie. They should be like teaming up against him. But at the same time, Sydney the whole season was like, oh, I don't care, like whatever, it doesn't matter. And then as soon as Gary comes back to her, she's just right there next to him. Like
Yeah. Well, 'cause
she's
she still
so
likes him.
desperate.
She clearly developed major feelings really fast.
She has no self-esteem. It's sad.
Yeah. And I just felt bad for Allie seeing her have that meltdown.
Yeah. And did you see when Danny and JL did their little boat trip?
That was cute
Either
enough.
That was cute. Either Gary or Allie, they're like, that would have been us if he didn't hook up with Sydney, that probably would have been them.
Yeah, Gary said that.
Yeah.
It's like coulda, shoulda, woulda, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And they found out that like all 6 guests tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. And then they found out that the replacement charter is going to be a group of like yachties, which I feel like it could go one of two ways. It could either be really good because they understand like the pressure and how the job works, or they could be like critiquing everything they do. So I kind of understand why they were a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I get why they were nervous, but I also like from my point of view, I would think that the Yachties coming on board would cut them some slack because they know how hard it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Waitress when I go out to eat, and still to this day, I always cut people slack because I know how stressful it is being in that environment, especially when you're busy and multitasking. It can be a lot. So, yacht
yeah,
is pretty similar to that. It's the hospitality industry. So,
but not everyone's as nice as you either. So,
well, thank you. No, but that is true. Maybe they're just going to take advantage of it and be like total assholes.
yeah, again, it could go either way. I bet they'll be pretty chill though, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as bad as the last charter guest, like Erica and those girls. They were horrible.
No, it's not as bad as fucking
Oh,
whatever
baby.
Barry.
That's true.
Remember when they were doing the fuck Mary kill and they were like kill and I think Natasha goes, I'd kill both Erica and Barry.
That was so funny.
That I mean it must be weird though being like one of the crewmates and like watching the show back and like seeing all the shit that they talk about you.
I know. I think that every time too.
I can't imagine. I mean, but anyway, so next week is the finale. It looks like Allie's gonna find out that Gary was planning to hook up with Sydney after like their little breakup. So that's gonna create some more drama between them.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great finale. This season has been really, really good. I'm going to watch next season. I wonder which crew members are going to return next season. I know it's usually like a small amount that continues on to each season, right? Or does it just depend?
Yeah, I feel like nobody's gonna return, or maybe Gary,
Oh yeah, he kind of
unfortunately.
got a promotion. Hopefully Colin comes back. Love him.
Oh yeah, maybe Gary or Colin. I feel like Natasha wasn't a strong enough chef for her to come back, and I feel like Daisy wasn't a strong enough first stew to come back either, or chief stew.
Yeah, she's good, but she's not a Kate.
Yeah, so I feel like it'll probably maybe only one person, and then the rest will be newbies, which I'm okay with. Like, I really like this cast, but there's nobody that I'm like dying to see again. I mean,
Yeah,
I like Allie, but she was only like a third stew, so I don't really know if she'll
yeah.
come back. And
Well,
Danny kind of seemed over it by the end of it, so
she did. Well, I'll be binging Below Deck and then Below Deck Med after I'm done binging Married to Medicine. I've got a full itinerary.
yeah. And then I'm excited to see the reunion to figure out what happened with Danny and JL.
Yeah, me too. Everyone's like dying to know who Danny's baby daddy is.
I know, I just want to know. And they've been keeping it kind of under wraps, which is suspicious to me.
I think they're doing it to help um
The ratings.
for the
Yeah,
viewings
that
ratings
makes
for
sense.
the so I think they are like paying Danny to be quiet about it because they know it's going to be good for the show. So I mean,
Imagine if JL got Danny knocked up and then she kept the baby, but they live like across the country, so he never sees it.
now across the country on different
Or
con
across the world, yeah.
yeah.
So that would be like the most chaotic version. I've been playing some scenarios in my head, so
I can't. I'm really excited to see what the conclusion is. It's probably not going to be as juicy as we're.
no, it's probably just gonna be like they broke up and she met a guy and that's it.
Yeah.
But we can dream.
Well,
Anyway, do we want to move to some housewives? This was
should-
definitely the best episode of the week for Real Housewives of New York. We picked back up with Ebony and the Lou fight. There's a lot to dissect
yeah,
here.
we have so much to unpack with this episode. It was like a lot of emotions watching this episode. I felt like really infuriated a lot, and I'm like 1,000,000% team Ebony, by the way. I just wanted to like make that PSA
Yes,
before
so
we
am
dive.
I.
Yeah, we both are obsessed with Ebony. She's amazing. Um, I think she's super classy. Love the way she composes herself. I love the way she like speaks to these women about important issues. I'm super here for it. And I was really glad to see that when Ebony, like when Lou kicked Ebony out, she was really upset and explaining everything to Leah, and Leah was like so angry for her. So I was really glad to see that Leah could empathize, and Leah, like, she knew immediately what the problem was with Luann calling Ebony.
Yeah. I really love their friendship. They're my favorite this season. Plus, Sonia's having a pretty good season besides the meltdown. Yeah,
I'd
I
already
just think
forgotten about that.
I know we've moved on. Yeah, but I just yeah, it's really not Ebony's job to educate these women. So it's sad that she has to, and it's sad that Tiffany has had to, and Crystal has had to, and it's just like I don't know. It's kind of bringing Bravo down because it's great that they're bringing minorities, but then they're making these minorities have to educate these grown women, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're like being like put into these positions that they don't want to be in, of feeling like they have to educate people on race issues who are too lazy to educate themselves. Feels like
And
Catherine on Southern Charm.
yeah, it's not even as bad as Catherine, honestly, but Lou, I definitely think she was receptive when they had their little sit down and she apologized and I think she understood, but like again, she shouldn't have to educate Lou.
See,
And like Ramona, I feel like Ramona was just trying not to say anything because she's gotten in trouble so much with like
yeah,
what she was saying that she was just not saying anything at all because she's ignorant and she was just trying to save her ass.
I disagree. I don't think Luann took in anything Ebony said. I think it was in one ear and out the other. She was just listening her to humor her, and I because she wanted an apology back, and I thought
Well, yeah, that
really
too.
because if she really knew how terrible it was what she'd said, she wouldn't have been asking for an apology back. So I've lost pretty much all respect for Luann. I've officially lost all respect for Ramona. Like, oh, I have a while ago, but this just nailed that coffin shut. Like when she didn't know what white fragility was, she's 64 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by it. And that's the thing, like, I'm getting really annoyed with the Bravo community because they all just want to focus on hating Leah. But then,
And
like,
Ebony.
yeah, but mostly Leah. And then like, oh well, Ramona, this is just Ramona, this is just Lou. Like they always get a pass, but then now it's just like everyone just wants to hate Leah so much, and it's so annoying to me.
Yeah, it's just like how when black women who are Real Housewives fight, Andy Cohen comes out and says, "We don't condone violence at Bravo." However, when Ramona Singer threw a wine glass at
Yeah,
Kristen Takeman's face, no one said, "We don't condone violence at Bravo."
I know
Saying
exactly.
our friend
And
Julian, who's been on the podcast twice, has made TikToks about this.
yeah, and also what annoyed me is like Heather, she acts like she's like this voice of reason and she's so woke, but then she tells Ebony that she's so articulate, and then she's like trying to tell her story about how she worked with Beyonce. I'm like, girl, shut up, read the room. Like you are so dumb. I'm not saying what Leah did was warranted, but like I understand like something about Heather really irks me too, and I've always hated her, so it kind of feels justified to see like Leah hate her too.
Oh, she's such a know-it-all. And to be like, oh, I understand black culture from being around P. Diddy and Beyonce.
Yeah,
Oh my God. It's like I know she meant well, but it was so bad. I
I'd
mean,
rather her just not say anything.
yeah. She's one of those people that thinks like talking just to fill the air is better than just like silence.
I feel like she was trying to de-escalate the situation, but it was just like bad.
It was so bad. And I hope Luann and Ramona can like take a look back at themselves and see how ignorant they are and just try to be better. But
They
it's
won't.
probably like me screaming in the wind at this point.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna hold my breath on that one. But it's crazy how Sonia has to be like the voice of reason, and she's the one that's like, when everyone's talking over each other, she's always the one like, let her talk, like, and that's the annoying thing with these women. Nobody lets anyone talk.
Yeah, I really love the way Sonia is with Ebony. I cannot believe how much I'm liking Sonia this season. She's the voice of reason. Again, things are getting scary, but Sonia is like, I just love how she was like, Ebony is articulating herself. She's not angry, she's just speaking. I just appreciate Sonia this season.
Yeah. And I loved how Ebony was like, I can tell like Sonia, sometimes she doesn't have like a lot of self worth. And like definitely Ramona and Luann put her down a lot.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see her like trying to do something nice for Sonia. I think they have like kind of a budding relationship. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think so too.
But should we get into some of the Leah and Heather stuff now?
Yes.
So I definitely think, like, I'm not saying Leah wasn't gonna vote, but her saying like, "Oh, I don't know," blah blah blah. Like, I I'm Team Leah, but I understood Heather saying like, the stakes are high. You should go out and vote. Like, I understood that, and I definitely like, especially with Ebony, like saying, with police brutality and everything going on, like you really do need to vote. But I definitely think Leah's reaction was a little bit overreacting.
It's circumstantial though. I mean, she already kind of has a short fuse, but mixed with her dying grandmother, she has understandably a lot going on. So I think Heather being a know it all just rubbed her the wrong way at the worst time.
Yeah, and she already like didn't have like the greatest expectations for Heather because of what Heather was talking about the other women. I think she already didn't trust her. So I think that just kind of elevated her distrust for her.
Yeah. And I think it's funny that Leah called Heather a Karen, but I think Ramona's way more of a Karen than Heather is personally.
I think Ramona's more of a Karen in the aspect that, with like, Ramona's the one that would ask to speak to your manager, or like she's the one that doesn't really treat service people with respect. But I do think there is an aspect to being a Karen of like being a know-it-all and being like in
Yeah,
people's business. So I feel
that's
like there's
true.
like different aspects of being a Karen. So but Heather, yeah, she is in everyone's business. She's always talking shit about people. Like, she does need to just mind her own business, and she's such a know-it-all. Like, she is annoying. I mean, Leah in the van was like a little bit much, but I understand like Heather is annoying.
Hurry up, they're gonna kill each other.
And then they were already killing each other. But yeah, I thought that like Leah to say like, "Oh, I don't know who I'm voting for," was kind of annoying, especially when Ebony like explained it. But like her and Ebony are friends, so that was fine. And I think like Heather saying something to her about that kind of annoyed her because they're just not close. So it just kind
Yeah,
of rubbed her the wrong way.
totally.
But anyway, I'm sick of the Leah hate. I'm still Team Leah. She's honestly my favorite, along with Sonia and Ebony.
Same.
So
I love her.
Leah haters can fuck off. I don't think she's going anywhere.
No, she's the best. I love her.
She brings the most entertainment.
She elevates this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm ride or die for Leah.
We're married to the mob of Leah.
Yeah, I have my sweatshirt.
So now we're going to head over to the West Coast to our Beverly Hills ladies who are currently in Lake Tahoe still. And we still are picking up with like the Sutton and Crystal drama.
I think overall Sutton's in the wrong, but I also think Crystal's like in a way a little bit hypersensitive to Sutton, and I think there's a reason behind it that we're not aware of. But I think the behavior that Sutton has shown so far is really triggering something in Crystal.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that Sutton's been really erratic and just really like on edge and paranoid. And I definitely think that's triggering Crystal. I don't know for what reason, but like Sutton just has so much anxiety and I'm not sure what's going on with her, but like she's needing this roller just to like have a conversation. It's really there's like something seriously wrong, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. This is not the Sutton I was expecting this season. She's
Yeah.
very different, and I kind of am starting to wonder if Bravo made a mistake making her a full-time housewife.
No, I don't think so because we're getting the drama, but um
I don't know if she can handle it though.
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's too much. And I think Crystal can, but it's still new for her. Like she didn't come to the dinner and stuff. But
And I
you know,
agree with Kyle when Kyle was saying like, "Oh, if she was so upset, why did she wait 24 hours to like come out and say something about it?"
yeah, and I honestly don't think that Sutton had any bad intentions,
Either.
honestly, with bringing the coat. I mean, they weren't really friends, so I understand like Crystal being hesitant, but like
I think that was her actually trying to be nice because she's been a nightmare the rest of the trip.
yeah. And like her saying, "Oh, I don't know what's going on here." I think she was just trying to kind of break the ice. Like I don't think
I
she
think
meant
so.
anything by that comment, but their relationship was already off to a bad start, so I guess I understand like where Crystal's coming from, but I think Sutton was not wrong in that situation, but overall I'm team Crystal.
Yeah, me too. I think Sutton's been really over the top this whole trip and not in a good way. Like her behavior during the whole like martini gate joke thing was just really annoying to me. And she's just been crying too much, like more than Kyle, more than like Candace. Like she's crying too much. Like, and she's been such a damper on the trip.
Yeah, there's definitely something off. So if she's acting this way, I can't imagine how she's gonna act after Erica says "or what" to her. Like, can you imagine? Because Crystal is like, actually, Crystal's holding her own, and I wasn't sure if she could, but she is. But Erica is scary, so I can't imagine how she's gonna react once Erica goes off on her.
Yeah, because when Erica gets pissed, she gets pissed.
Yeah, and there's no stopping her. She'll obviously she did it to Eileen, who they were like besties.
She
And
did
she did it to
Teddy,
Teddy, but like they weren't really friends then, so that was
but
fine.
she still suffered the wrath of Erica.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Also I'm like so sick of like Garcelle bringing up Denise. Like she's not on the season. I don't care. Like Renna gave her spiel. What if you believe it or not? I just don't want to hear about it anymore.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with Garcelle that at the comparison that Rena made,
Yeah, that
that was
was
kind of
not
inappropriate.
tasteful.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I wonder if she had some, if she's saying that because there's stuff you don't know about Denise, like the whole, I mean, she said that there's something about Denise that like she'll go to her grave with. And I think Denise has a lot of skeletons that we have no idea about. So my feeling is like Renna knows something and it's way worse than Brandy. So that's why she made that comparison, which to any of the castmates or to any of the crew or to any of the viewers, it'd be like, what the fuck? But
okay.
so yeah, I thought that the Renna thing was kind of weird. Like I kind of understand like what she was saying about Denise, but she definitely went around it the wrong way, went about it the wrong way.
Yeah, I think so too.
But again, I don't need to hear about it. Like Denise isn't here. I'm
Thank God.
over it.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Just go forever. Like, see you never. We just don't want you.
exactly. So that was pretty much the whole trip, and then we
Yeah.
ended on our third to be continued in a row, which was the whole Erica divorce. I think now we're just, we had our fun trip and it was chill, but now we're getting into the good stuff. And the thing about this season that's different from the like last couple is like the last couple we just focused on one thing and that was it. And it feels like there's different like storylines and there's different dynamics. I mean, I think the Erica thing's now going to be a big thing, but I think there's also like supplemental storylines as well.
What did you think about the text that she sent to everybody? Didn't it seem a little like vague and cold?
I wonder if she even sent that or just the producers like made up a text. But either way, it was, I mean, I remember that day very vividly. It was election day, first of all. So she definitely, I think, warned the girls before it came out, trying to be like a good friend. But
I'm really excited to see this all unfold and I can't wait to cover it on the podcast.
yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I still am rooting for Erica. I'm hoping it was all Tom and
Don't let it be about Tom.
yeah. But either way, I think it's gonna be good. And like I think our Bravo fans just want to hate on Erica. So it is what it is. But I'm excited to see, what she has to say and how everything unfolds. So
Same.
and do we think that Dorit got a nose job?
Is the Pope Catholic?
She's really going hard claiming that she doesn't, so she didn't, but I mean, like, why would you deny it? Who cares? Why I think that, like, I don't know. I kind of think she didn't, but I don't know.
No way. Like
I don't know.
side photos, it's not possible.
They were so shady with that.
They were. Bless
But
them.
I read like a couple of her like comments and stuff. I mean, it's 25 years. Your nose does change. Your
No.
nose never stops growing, I'm pretty sure. Is that your
Your
ears?
nose hasn't grown though. It's from that size to what it is now.
Or is that your ears that never stop growing?
No, your nose never stops growing.
Oh,
Both
maybe it is just the contouring. That's what Kyle said. Well, that's the thing, but she's admitted to like her lips and like other stuff.
everyone admits to lip fillers.
I mean, Kyle admitted to her nose. I don't feel like it's an
all the
issue.
footage of Kyle's nose, which I don't think we needed to see.
I don't know. I feel like there's no reason for her not to say that she did, which is why I don't think she did, even though the picture was pretty shady. And her face has changed a lot since the first season, but I think it's just a lot of filler. But good filler, like Brandy's filler looks bad. Her filler looks good. But like Dorit's face has changed a lot in a good way.
Yes, agreed.
So she's had a good surgeon or whatever.
She had such a good glow up.
For sure. But I feel like Dorit has definitely like quieted down this season. And it's kind of annoying because the fans, they just switch up so quickly. I feel like last season everyone was like Dorit, and now they like don't give a shit about her. That's why I hate that. I'm honestly so over the Bravo fans because they switch up way too quick. And I can't follow along that fast because when I like start to like somebody, like I like Dorit now, I'm like, I'm not turning on her now.
I'm disappointed in how many people in the Bravo community are not supporting Ebony and are supporting Luann and Ramona.
They're just like bandwagon fans.
So disappointing.
Yeah. Because it's expected of Lou and it's expected of Ramona. It's like, no.
I'm so sick of like people like that getting a pass.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of The Word on the Street Is. We look forward to dishing on all things Bravo with you next week.
See you next week.